Hey, kids, hey.
Oh, you want me to sign you two, huh? All right.
All right, chicken.
There you go. All right. Want me to sign that? Need a pen? All right, there, right there, my man. All right. Woo! All right.
How come you're into this whole mystique? I mean, kind of the Lone Ranger of poultry. I mean, why won't you give your identity?
Well, on one hand, I would like to.
Get a shot of the chicken.
On one hand, I would like to, and on the other hand, I think it's kind of fun in another way because, like, it's like the Lone Ranger, Batman sort of thing. Who is that masked man? I'm no one famous. It's not to say like I'm Mayor Wilson under here or whatever, but it's just like it's something different, I suppose, and just adds a little more of a fantasy to the whole character.
Do you find that the chicken is an extension of your personality?
It's an extension of my personality I didn't know I had at first when I put on the chicken suit. And ever since putting it on, it's like a whole new character just born out. Believe me, I am not the same person outside the suit. When I'm in this suit, it's KGB chicken and everything that comes along with it.
How about when you're in the middle of all of the kids and what have you? Do you ever get a little nervous, perhaps?
Yeah, I do, because here's a reason. When there's a lot of kids around me, I'm thinking of the people behind me who've spent $4 a ticket to see a Padre game or a hockey game or whatever. And I'm thinking, well, those poor people, they've paid money to see a game, and here's a throng of kids with a chicken in front of them. I mean, you know, it can be a little bit upsetting, I'm sure. So that's why I get a little uptight, because it's not good public relations for our radio station either, you know, for some guy to spend good money and have his blocked view when Winfield hits a home run or whatever.
Superman worked around people like Lois Lane, and he could never divulge his identity. I mean, when you go out on a date, do you ever impress a young lady and say, guess what, sweetie? I'm the chicken.
Well, every now and then I flash my little business card. It says KGB chicken on it, nothing else. But not really, believe me, Harold. Social time on this job, there's none of it. It's always spent when there's a Padre game or a football game, a concert or whatever. KGB chicken is mostly expected to be there, and I've got to be there. Otherwise, it just misses out, I suppose, on the whole event. One time a person told me an event in San Diego doesn't seem to be sanctioned unless it's attended by the KGB chicken. And so, like, I really have very little time for social activity. If you would have told me 2.5 years ago when I started this job, it would lead to one day being on the Herald Express or being invited by the St. Louis Cardinals to St. Louis or being invited by Paul McCartney to tour on the final leg of his concert stand, I wouldn't have believed it. I'm just some guy in a chicken suit that likes to give it a little bit of a character, and as such, it's really developed into something, and I want to see how far it can go. Can the chicken get on the Saturday night show? You know, maybe can the chicken make Time magazine? Who's to say?
Won't talk about it, but we do know he's a college graduate and sure likes to drink beer.
Shotgun.
Okay.
That's good for the
beer in there,
too. Woo! Yeah, I'll take another one, all right. Oh, all right. Woo!
So we gotta go this way, chicken. Now let's sit down now. These people want to see the game, okay? Come on, let's go. Let's sit down.
Gotta clear the field.
Can you all just sit down now?
History was made at San Diego Stadium early Friday evening. Escorted by 2 Highway Patrol motorcycles, an armored truck made its way into San Diego Stadium with a giant egg on top of the truck. Inside that egg is Ted Gianolis, who for years worked in a chicken costume for a San Diego radio station. But after a misunderstanding with the radio station, a judge ordered Ted Gianolis out of the chicken costume. Well, all of that was several weeks ago. Now he is about to emerge as the Padres' new mascot. In Gianolis' own words, he'll be a new kind of bird. There it is, the egg cracks open, and there he is, the Padres' Wonder Bird. It was a standing ovation, and Ted told me later it was the most exciting moment in his life. Inside the Thunderbird outfit, he said he was in tears. By the end of the first inning, Ted was back to his true form, giving the Padres' opponents, Astros pitcher Joaquin Andujar, a tough time. We've attempted to get reaction to the introduction of the new Padres mascot from the radio station that formerly employed Ted Gianolis, but so far they have had no comment. As for the Wonder Bird, he says he's back in business, and he's just happy to be working again. For the news, I'm Jack White at San Diego Stadium.